Howdy everybody. All right, so we had a crazy monsoon type of rain here last night. I mean, debris was everywhere. That we had a big stack of wood and it was blown all over the place. There's, puddles everywhere. All the water troughs are overflowed. So it was a rough night last night for the horses. They're out here now in the big open arena where it's a little drier and they like to stand in the sunshine. And hey Wyatt. Hey buddy. Sweet boy. But yeah, rough night for them, definitely last night. Shakespeare is exhausted. He's standing there. He didn't even eat his grain this morning. That's how tired he was from weathering that storm last night. And they are over here with they're in the covered, they're in the open arena, which means there's only a little fence dividing them between this herd and the other herd. Here's Cutter, and True is behind him. Shakespeare's behind him, and then True is up by the fence, and Charlie is back at the hay feeder over there. He is eating. And then Trixie, well, actually, Charlie and Whiskey are over there eating. And then Trixie, the little Appaloosa mare, she is away this week. She's down in Florida at a show. But yeah, so the rest of them are standing here. They are going to be tired today. When we have bad storms at night, it keeps the horses up all night. You can see he just rolled and rubbed his face into this this dirt here, so I'm not even going to mess with him right now because he wants to rest. But I did have their rain sheets on them last night. Unlike a blanket, a rain sheet, like if you hear somebody say they're going to put a sheet on a horse or a rain sheet on a horse, it is just a very thin piece of material. There's no filler in it. Like there's nothing to keep them warm in it. It basically is just like a rain slicker, almost like a poncho that you would wear, oh my, that's a squealing mare right there. So that's True squealing, because this other mare, I'm sorry. Let me see, who is that? I can't see around my big girl. That's Jack, I believe. Yeah. So Jack and Wyatt are trying to play, but they're playing very they're boys will be boys. They're playing kind of rough. Okay. As a matter of fact, if this escalates, I'm gonna have to put them in a timeout because that fence is not that strong and they can go through it. So they are playing very, very hard right now, and True is like warning Jack and Wyatt. But anyway, what I was saying about the rain sheet is it's just a thin piece of material, kind of like a poncho, and it just keeps the rain off of them. Whereas a blanket actually is stuffed with stuffing, and it's got like alternative, down or in it or whatever, and it's thick and it's warm. But you don't want to do that when it's 50, 60 degrees out. But when it gets cold at night, in this weird kind of in between seasons, it can be 60 degrees during the day, but then it can be in the 20s and 30s at night. But then when you couple that with cold rain for 8 straight hours and wind at 12 miles an hour, you're looking at a shivering horse. So that's why I made sure that I put their rain sheets on them last night. They did okay with that. But yeah, so we're gonna watch a little bit of horseplay right now with Wyatt. Now, if you watch this behavior, Wyatt and Jack. So Jack is True's half brother. Okay, that gelding right there who is filthy. And then there's True. True's screaming. Okay, so Jack is True's half brother. They have the same father, Blue, the stallion here. True is the second in command in my little herd. So there's Shakespeare, then there's True, then there's Wyatt. So Wyatt really, really, really wants to play with Jack right now, but True is keeping an eye on Wyatt, whether it looks like it or not. Here comes Berlin. Wyatt is getting a little too fresh, and whenever they hit the fence, let's see what happens here. So we've got True and Berlin. Okay, True is squealing. And this is typical behavior as well. Like the geldings will try to nuzzle the mare. I would suspect that True is probably in heat or going into heat, the way she's acting, because all that squealing and all that, you know, kind of flirting. So Shakespeare just woke up. Okay, here's more body language. You see those ears? Shakespeare is warning Berlin not to mess with True. So he is going to give him a definite warning, like, hey, you're not allowed to have her. You're not allowed to mess with her. She's mine. Leave her be. So he came over here. His ears are not all the way pinned, but that is a warning. He is warning him, like, this is my territory. But see how tired Shakespeare is? He can't even hold his eyes open. He's so sleepy. Hi, Berlin. Buddy, you're a little out of your league. I'm sorry. You're just a baby compared to him. But Shakespeare will keep an eye on this behavior. Wyatt has moved further down the line. Now he is actually communicating with Peaches. She is a mare, aka Red Bull. And we're going to see what happens there. Okay, here we have... Alright, we've got True and Berlin. See? And that squeal is very, 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 very typical of a mare. They do that all the time. It's just they're very they let their feelings be known. In other words, they're extremely vocal. But Shakespeare's even warning her off of me right now. See how he's protecting me? Because he knows I don't like that energy. He knows I don't like that screaming mare energy. And he stands in front of me and he blocks. So no one is going to come between, no one's going to get past Shakespeare right now. I mean, even Cutter wouldn't push it, because Cutter knows that Shakespeare is mine and I'm Shakespeare's, and he wouldn't push that. So there's just all this body language and herd dynamics going on right now. This guy is getting ready to lay down. He cannot keep his eyes open. He is so tired. And he needs to just sleep. He was probably up all night long taking care of the herd in the storm. We could tell that there was a lot of running last night that was happening, because there's footprints all over the place. And like I said, debris was spread everywhere, all over the farm. So, and see, Cutter just picked up that thread with Shakespeare. Shakespeare came in and he blocked me and True. And then Cutter picked it up, and now he's pushing True and Charlie off that, True and Whiskey off that way. He's like, you all stand over here and quit getting into trouble, and quit, especially with True. He doesn't want all that silly screaming. So I suspect Shakespeare's just going to take a nap, and that's fine. He's going to lay down and do his thing. Wyatt right now is the troublemaker. Imagine that. So Wyatt's he's fresh and he wants to play with Jack, but Jack is very, very dominant. Jack is the boss of that herd right there. Okay, so Wyatt's actually biting off a little bit more than he could chew, and then, as a matter of fact, if Jack were in this pen right now, he'd be whipping Wyatt's butt. Okay, because he would not let him. He wouldn't let him get away with, see, they're being very silly right now. Wyatt just wants to play, and he's trying to vie for dominance with Jack, but he is not more dominant than Jack. Jack would kick his butt. I mean, he really would. Yeah, you tell him why. But he's trying. I mean, I gotta give him that. He's getting a lot more brave than he ever was. Oh, see, now that's where it starts getting ugly. And if it gets too ugly, that's when Cutter and Shakespeare will step in. But Wyatt's trying to cause a ruckus. And he's being very silly. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't take off and run back down here. You guys, you have a creek. Do you really have to drink out of that disgusting puddle? Oh my gosh. They're all down there drinking out of a mud puddle. Silly horses. Shakespeare's just like, you youngins are crazy. I'm taking a nap. And then we've got the rest of them. So we've got Peaches, aka Red Bull. We've got Berlin right there with his head down in the trough. That big gray thoroughbred is Izzy. And then we've got Tacoma right here, the buckskin mare. Jack right there. That's, like I said, my mare True's half brother. And then we've got old man Cash over there. So all right, well, that's all the excitement for now. It's really windy, so I know this is probably going to be a loud video, but I will catch you guys later.